Okay, so you know how you go to talk about what's happening and ask a specific question, but you have like these long stories, but you got to tell the story, you got to tell the background for people to get the point. Today, I want to talk to you about why that is keeping your manifestation from you. Stick with me. All right, so I was actually supposed to start another video series today on the faith series, and I think I'm going to wait and start it later this week because this has really been reoccurring, and it's been something that I've talked about in my coaching business. For those of you who have followed me over the last 12 years on other platforms, websites, books, etc., you know this. If not, you want to stick here because one thing that I know for sure, for certain, is that 98% of you hearing the sound of my voice, listening to my videos right now, have stories. We all have stories, right? And a story is either good or bad. It has conflict. It normally has ebbs and flows. And unfortunately, when we have a problem, when we have something we're trying to manifest, and we're manifesting from a space of lack, the stories connected to them are of lack as well. So over the last couple months, which is normal with when I was growing on on Instagram, and when I was growing on Facebook, and when my books were first starting to get published, I would get tons of emails, tons of inboxes and DMs, similar to what's happening now. So what's going on is you guys send me dissertations, not even joking. To get my PhD, master's, you need a thesis, PhD, you need a dissertation, and it's a lot. That's what y'all sent me. You send me, and this is good. I want you to stick with me here, because even if you haven't DM'd me, most of you do this in real life. So you send me a message and you're like, oh my God, Stephanie, I have thoroughly enjoyed your videos. It's been so helpful. I saw this video and this is what I'm trying to manifest. But you can't just leave it there. Typically it's, okay, so this is what's going on. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my house, or my man left me, or my woman left me, or I've been trying really hard to have kids, or, I was in the middle of buying a house, and blah, 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 blah. And you guys tell this long story. First, I want you to know I don't read it. So let me start there. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Stick here. Well, number one, because I don't want to. I don't read long DMs. To be very, very truthful, I don't do manifestation coaching. And so I don't have the time to do this. I run 2 multi-7-figure earning businesses, remodeling a house in Italy, and I'm building a farm on top of the fact that I'm a single mom. I don't have the time. All right. I just don't have the time. But more than that, the reason I don't read them is because I don't want to continue to move the universe and move the molecules in the universe towards the negative things you're telling me. So every time you tell the story of what's happening, even though it's happening in the 3D, you are ensuring that the energy around you, all of the molecules, all of the things that make up solid objects continue to create that for you every time you tell it. And many of you are addicted to the story. You are addicted to the story. You're addicted to the situation. Many of you tell the story. You might not be conscious, but a level of sympathy or empathy around the situation. You want other people to hear it. You want other people to feel for you. Every time you tell it, you feel the story. You want them to feel the story. And all you are doing is a massive creation of that thing over and over again. And you can't recognize or understand why your situation isn't changing. You have an illness, and all you want to talk about is your illness. I have a friend right now with a specific thing that's going on. I don't call regularly and say, oh, how are you feeling? And what did the doctor say? Because if we are living in a space of healness and wholeness, why am I calling you, asking you about something that doesn't exist, right? You guys are saying, I am manifesting, but it isn't working. No, no, no. You say you're manifesting, and yet you're constantly telling these stories. You're constantly thinking about the stories. I'm a stranger to you. If you're telling a stranger the story who didn't ask you the story, stick with me. You might not like this, but somebody go be free from this video. A stranger who didn't ask you the story. I'm almost positive that you have the conversation with people you know, even if it's just a best friend. I'm almost positive you even have the conversation with yourself, which means you are constantly and consistently pressing it into the universe. It's already your 3D truth. And it's your subconscious truth, because your subconscious has caught on to the fact, first off, everything we experience in the 3D, it's because there is a subconscious connection to it. You can't experience anything in the 3D that the subconscious belief did not stack up to. You created it. Now, a lot of people don't like that. That's a whole other video. But negative beliefs, lower vibrational beliefs, beliefs in possibilities of negative things, all can create negative things. Which is why training the mind is so necessary. Brain training is so necessary. So you go and you tell this story, and what's happening is already physical. It's already in the 3D. You are doing your manifestation practices. You're doing your affirmations. You're telling a different story. And so you can't see it yet, because the result of what's happening in the physical is a result of what you were thinking yesterday, last week, last month, last year. Some of y'all got years of beliefs that support your current. Some of y'all have years of beliefs in lack of all things, from money to love, relationships, opportunities. Some of you got years or decades of those beliefs. That's what you're currently living. So you go to manifest, and you're saying the things you need to say. You're doing the brain trainings. You are doing your subliminals. You're doing your affirmations. You're paying attention to your input and output. You are completely changing your surroundings. And then, as soon as you open your mouth to talk to somebody, you're telling the story. When you sit down and quiet, you're telling the story, which is technically not paying attention to your input and your output. And so all of the work you've been doing means nothing, because you have all this time history of seeing this in the 3D. So your subconscious believes it's true. When I do this, the subconscious is in the back, because your subconscious believes it's true. You see it in the 3D in your consciousness. And so every time it's like, oh, we're removing the belief, we're removing belief. But oh, let me tell this story. Beliefs back in. I knew this was true. I knew that. That's what your subconscious said. I knew this was true. That's why we didn't leave fast. So many of you are telling me stories of you trying to manifest and you can't manifest. And your story alone is proof that you have not been consciously manifesting the thing you desire. You want it. You consciously want it. You're not consciously manifesting. And so this conversation of manifestation not working, even your story around that, your stories are doing nothing but keeping you where you are. I am not reading your emails with these long stories. I am not reading your inboxes with these long stories. If you are messaging my team members to tell me to reach out to you, if I don't know you, for those who don't know this, I run 2 multi-million-dollar businesses. I have a minor child. I have 2 big, huge real estate projects I'm working on. And dang it, I got a life. I'm not just taking calls from random people. I'm so sorry. But outside of my client work that I do for my consulting company or personal friends, I'm just not. There are plenty of people on here who are willing to take your money to get on the phone with them for an hour. 2 hours with me within my consulting company is $5,000. I never bring that to you guys because I don't sell to you. I don't sell coaching to you. I just don't. I'm here doing this out of the goodness of my heart. But I was actually telling a friend this morning, if I start to feel like Y'all keep inboxing me and emailing me, and y'all want me to tell me I don't do this. I'ma stop. I didn't do this for you to say, oh, let me see how much more I can get from her. Her is busy. Her busy. And her don't want to hear your story. That's another thing about manifestation coaching. Let me get this to you. Any manifestation coach that sit there and let you tell your story is doing nothing but helping the story secure more in. No, shut the freak up. Shut up. Quit telling that story. You need people around you. You need friends around you. You come turn on this video. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Quit telling stories that don't equate to what you want. If you're not saying, man, every day it's getting better and better. I mean, that's a better feeling than saying, oh shit, I'm finna be evicted, or oh man, my relationship falling apart. Every day, my finances getting better and better. Every day, man, we are getting closer. Every single day. Oh my God, every day, more and more people find my business. Don't that feel better? I'm never going to accept that story because that's not me serving you. That's not me serving you. And I don't intake that into my system. I don't take that into my system because what you get in, it actually goes into your cells. It starts to affect you physically. And even if I didn't have successful businesses, Stephanie wouldn't be a manifestation coach because I'm going to stop you in the middle of your story every time and say, what do you want? I don't need your story to know what you're manifesting. I don't need your story to know that all you need to do is shift your state. I don't need your story to know that until you decide that your input and your output is going to equate to the things that you desire, all of the molecules in the earth are going to move to continue to create the negativity you've already created, the things that you don't want. And it might not be negative. You may be living an amazing life, and yet you want more. They're going to continue to create the more of what you got. So do I sound frustrated? I am a little frustrated with you. I am frustrated with your stories. I'm frustrated with many of you have said you have watched all my videos, and it ain't that many. It's only like 20 something videos. This is a rather new channel. I've only consistently been making videos since November 1st, consistently, end of September. But it's enough on there that you guys should know to shut up. Shut up. Not just talking to me. Shut up talking to yourself on that BS. If you can't talk to yourself about what you want, if you can't talk to yourself about your truth, and your truth is you have everything you want. Your truth is there is no lack. There is only abundance within this universe. Abundance in every means. Abundance of love. Abundance of health. Abundance of wealth. Abundance of everything you desire. There's every material thing in abundance. I don't care what they say about the supply chain. Every time I drive through a rural area, I don't see nothing but trees. I probably got 3,000-4,000 on my property, if not more. It's the abundance of lumber. They gonna tell me is you know they short on lumber. Baby, come cut these off my tree. Do whatever you need to do so you can build me my fence with my trees. Ain't no lack nowhere. Nowhere. So unless you telling yourself the truth of that abundance is everywhere, quit telling yourself this dang on story that don't support what you want. And I'm not going to feel sorry for you. Someone feeling sorry for you, someone even in feeling empathy for you, I wouldn't feel empathy unless I'm feeling a situation you're in. And all that's doing for me is helping you manifest more of that. Florence Scoville Shan, you guys know, is one of my first teachers and one of the ones that opened my eyes to a lot of things that really started to change my life. You know, my battery going dead. When really started to change my life. One of the things that she really spoke about was people coming to her for what she called treatment. It took me years to find out what treatment was. I ain't never heard of treatment. And I remember saying, what is treatment? What is treatment? What treatment is prayer, right? Most people don't even pray right. Prayer is every thought you think. Listen, prayer is every thought you think. So every time you tell that story, in order to tell the story, you are thinking. And so every time you tell the story, you are praying for more of that. You are actually not praying for the opposite of that. You are praying for the more of that. Every thought you think is a prayer. So if you want to change situation, you need to tell a story about a new situation. Florence would never have done a treatment for you that said, oh, they're going to be evicted. Let's get them a house. The treatment would have been like, she is in a wonderful, gorgeous home, paid for. Her and her kids, him and his wife and kids, whatever. Treatment would have never gave the story. And stories frustrate me. Even within like some of you, and I didn't even promote it to you guys because I don't promote here. Some of you who found me on other platforms and you realize like I have the School of Quantum Living. Some of you have joined that. You're going to find out on the monthly coaching call. I might listen to about 2-3 minutes of that story, but as soon as that story get to be too much, I'm like, okay, what are we really saying? My job is not to let you talk. Because all you're doing is talking yourself and keeping yourself into the current situation. You are talking yourself deeper. You are talking yourself into the problems, the things that you don't want to be even deeply rooted. And for us to eradicate that, you got to start saying something else. And your friends ain't going to tell you to shut up. Your family not going to tell you to shut up. Stephanie saying shut up. I'm not even saying be quiet because that sounds too kind. Sounds too sweet. You don't need that because you're so stuck on your story. It's funny, as I was talking to another friend about one of her coaching programs, and it's a lot of women in there. And this seems to be, I don't know why, but it is more women tell stories than men, which is why actually, y'all know men can't tell stories. If you ask them what happened, a man can't tell you what happened. He'd be like, such and such died. How he died, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's just not an issue we see with a lot of men. Sometimes, but most of the time not. And when she was telling me about some of the people in there, and she was talking about how long her calls were, I said, are they telling a bunch of stories? She's like, man, they're doing like 15, 20 minutes of stories. That's your fault. Boundaries. Are the stories necessary for the question that's being asked? She's like, never. Rarely is it ever. So some of the times what you guys need the answer to, you want to tell the story, but we don't even need to know the story for you to get your answer. And you don't need to tell the story. Because again, every time you do, you further cement it in. I know that's not a fun video. I know this is not what you want to hear. But dang it, it's the truth. Shut up. And start seeing your manifestations unfold. Oh, let me not forget. I never really say it. But if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment, tell your people. But don't come over here expecting me to be all, like lovey-dovey and stuff. Stephanie gonna tell you the truth. She's going to tell you like it is. I don't just read and regurgitate. I live this, I be this, I am this, man. All right, now I'm gone for real. Bye.